Every hero reaches a crossroads, a moment when strength isn't enough, when what's truly at stake isn't victory, but the soul. For Peter Parker, that moment may arrive in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Since the events of Avengers: Endgame, Peter's life has slowly unraveled. He lost Tony Stark, the mentor who believed in him. He lost Aunt May, the heart of his home. And with the spell that erased him from the world's memory, he lost even his place in it. Now, what remains is a boy turned man, carrying the weight of a world that no longer remembers his name, but still depends on him. This isn't just another sequel. It's a rebirth under pressure. A story about becoming something more. Not by choice, but by necessity. And now, that story takes a turn. Because into the fragile light of this new day steps Frank Castle, the Punisher. A man shaped by trauma, hardened by vengeance. A soldier with nothing left to lose, and no intention of playing by anyone's rules. Jon Bernthal's return as Castle is no mere fan service. It's a warning, a storm gathering on the horizon, one that threatens not only the criminals of New York, but the very foundation of Peter's moral code. Because Peter Parker believes in saving lives, all lives. He believes that even the worst among us can change. His most sacred rule is simple, but absolute. Never kill. It's the line that separates a hero from a vigilante, the one thing keeping the mask from consuming the man beneath it. But Frank Castle doesn't recognize that line. To him, justice doesn't wait. Redemption is a fairy tale. He doesn't bring criminals to court, he buries them. And when these two worlds meet, one driven by hope, the other by wrath, something has to break. We've seen this tension before. With Daredevil, Castle pushed hard against Matt Murdock's beliefs, called him weak, soft, a man shackled by his emotions. But Peter is not Matt. He's younger, more idealistic, and maybe more vulnerable. And that's exactly what makes him a target for Frank. Not physically, but philosophically. Because Castle isn't just a weapon, he's a temptation. The surface tension is only part of the danger. Beneath it lies a deeper, darker truth. Frank Castle wasn't always an uneasy ally. In his early comic book days, he was introduced as a direct antagonist to Spider-Man, a man whose version of justice turned him into a threat. And maybe he still is. So what happens if Castle crosses the line again? What if he starts doing what Peter never could, eliminating threats instead of containing them? And worse, what if it works? What if for once Peter looks at Frank Castle and doesn't see a monster, but a solution? That's the true risk. Not losing the battle, but losing himself. Peter Parker has always had someone to guide him. Uncle Ben, Aunt May, Tony Stark, even MJ. But now, he's truly alone. No safety net, no voice to remind him who he is. The choices he makes now won't be chalked up to inexperience. They will define him. He is no longer the student. He is the compass. And in the presence of Frank Castle, Peter must be more than good. He must be unshakable. Spider-Man: Brand New Day isn't just about new villains or returning faces. It's about the collision between light and shadow, between what works and what's right, between becoming the hero the world needs and holding on to the one he's always tried to be. And as the city balances on the edge of chaos and control, Peter must decide, where does he draw the line? Will he be the voice that calls Castle back from the edge, or the hand that's forced to stop him? This new day may cost more than anyone expects. And before it ends, Peter may have to face the battle he's feared all along, the one to save his soul.